preps to pros and everything in between. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
What's up? What's up? It's Thursday, Throwback, Thirsty, whichever one you want. Maybe both. If you're the Nashville Sounds, it's always Thirsty Thursday on Throwback Thursday at First Horizon Park. Happy to have you guys with us here as we are 7 minutes past hour number one as we get today's show started. Coming to you from the Lee Company studio, this is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I am Chris Yow, joined as always by Mo Patton and JP Plant on the controls, the board, all of the video. Killing it as always. Thank you guys for joining us on WKOM 1017 FM, WZYX 94.5, The Eagle, Facebook, Twitter, sm-tnsports.com/YouTube, whichever of those you are joining us on today. We appreciate it because we've got a great show. A show that you will not want to miss because we have two fantastic guests coming on with us, and we're going to talk about all of the exciting things happening in the world of sports today. That's the one cool thing, Mo, about moving this show to 4 to 6 is the top stories are top stories from today typically.
Yeah.
They're not yesterday's news.
Yeah, we try to keep it as timely and comprehensive as possible.
The only place to find the most timely and comprehensive sports coverage in Murray County is right here for now. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, a tease.
For now.
Man.
Until it changes.
Until it changes.
Things always stay the same until it changes.
That's right.
But wherever we are, that is our goal.
Wherever we are, it will still be the most comprehensive and timely sports coverage in and around Southern
Boys
Middle
better
Tennessee.
stop digging.
Digging? Hey, he's fixing a divot. That's all.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad that we got that clarified.
He's fixing a divot.
That was funny. That video was almost as funny as the play that prompted it, and the play that we saw later.
Right. So there was a play last night in the Braves-Cardinals game where the left fielder for the Cardinals slid, and when he slid, he knocked up a pretty big hole.
Pretty significant piece of turf in the outfield.
Yeah.
And so then he picks it up and he puts it back and taps it down with his foot.
And Mo texted me and said, please replace all divots. And it just made me think of, he's fixing a divot.
That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. A little Space Jam reference there. Space Jam 1, not Space Jam 2. I don't know if it's in Space Jam 2. I haven't seen it yet. Have you guys seen Space Jam 2 yet?
No.
I wanted to have HBO Max because Sarah has AT&T, so we get HBO Max for free via AT&T. So I wanted to watch it, but I haven't yet, and I don't even know if I still can at this point. But yeah, I could not think of that. But anyway, got a lot to get to today. Big show, as typically it is here around here. We have Coach's Corner, which we were unable to get to yesterday, so we have moved it to Thursday.
This week.
Just this week only. And we will visit with brand new Culleoka girls basketball coach Catherine Upshaw. That will be in the next segment. We are going to continue our coverage of high school sports and previewing local high school football teams, and Mount Pleasant will be on tap today. The Tigers of the Mount.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. And, of course, we'll talk about the Atlanta Braves, and I wore my Braves cap today because they've won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
If they win today,
that's a streak.
That's called a winning streak, and it has happened before.
Yep.
Oh, man. And then, of course, we will talk about the NFL, which starts tonight. Kind of.
Snuck up on us.
It kind of did. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, this is Hall of Fame weekend.
It's Hall of Fame weekend. Dak's not going to be there, but apparently Tom Brady will be in town to help celebrate his friend and former nemesis Peyton Manning's induction into the Hall.
You got 2 classes being inducted
Yeah,
this weekend.
which is
That's going to take forever.
not unprecedented. as,
We did it first.
as the TSWA will tell you, putting in 2 classes in one night can get a little lengthy if you're not careful.
Yeah, ours had nothing on this.
No, this one's going to be really long. But we'll talk to David Beauclair about the NFL and not just the game tonight, but some rumors circulating,
Yeah.
flying around, if you will. And we'll talk about that and more. JP's just like, I can't deal with this guy anymore.
We're gonna have to get some sort of Captain Chaos moniker for this guy, some sort of intro,
I think he needs
a little buzz.
He needs
Captain
a hashtag at the very least, Captain Chaos.
Hashtag Captain Chaos. And finally, we will talk about the broadcast teams that have been announced for Fox's NFL and a former college football standout and semi-NFL bust. Not really his fault, but still didn't live up to the hype, unfortunately, has joined the team at ESPN.
I think that the not really all his fault really needs to be stressed.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's injuries stink.
He had help.
Yeah, a lot of help not being very, very good. But there have been people who have overcome that in the past if you're good enough. Now, don't get me wrong. Dude was fantastic, and I enjoy watching him in the NFL, but who am I?
And what do you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So a former Heisman Trophy winner has joined the ESPN college football broadcast and NFL broadcast, apparently. We'll tell you who that is later. As well, we need to get to top stories, so let's do it. First, down in Pelham, the Columbia Post-19 baseball team has been eliminated. I hope they got some Dreamland on the way out.
2 in barbecue? Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
Scoreless through 5 full against Retief Oil, representing New Orleans post 285 this morning. The team from Louisiana scored twice in the bottom of the 6th and held on for the 2-0 shutout victory over post 19, ending their season at 18-9. So tough finish for them after they had won 6 straight going into the region tournament and 8 of their last 9. But
that's a tough tournament.
It is a tough tournament. There's some really good baseball being played down there, and 2 runs on 2 solo home runs in 2 games isn't typically the recipe for winning baseball, and that was no exception over the last couple of days for post 19. So
let's talk a little high school football as we move on. And we saw some scrimmages a couple nights ago. If you're looking for coverage of those scrimmages, you can find that at sm-tnsports.com. And you saw Columbia Academy in Spring Hill. What did you see that stuck out?
Columbia Academy came up with a couple of nice defensive plays, particularly on interceptions by linebacker Dane Bennett and by
Collins Malone.
Linebacker, defensive end, whatever he is these days, Collins Malone, who picked off a swing pass and returned it for a touchdown.
Took it to the house.
Yep, took it to the house. I mean, he's, again, this is a guy who finished second in the state in the 300-meter hurdles. I mean, he's an athlete, and anytime he's got the ball in his hands, he's got a chance to make something happen regardless of whether it's offense or defense for CA, and I think they're going to look to take advantage of that. Unfortunately,
I said they're going to have to because
unfortunately, how they're going to get the ball to him on offense kind of took a little bit of a hit Tuesday night as Connor Rawson, one of the 3 guys vying for that starting quarterback role, broke his collarbone and is expected to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks after surgery yesterday. So they're still trying to figure out quarterback. Spring Hill is still trying to figure out quarterback. As we've talked, when we've talked about high school football over the last 2 or 3 weeks, that seems to be a trend among our area teams. Who's going to take the snaps?
Yeah, that's that has been a trend. Now, where I was, we know who's going to take the snaps because as of now, both of them are going to take the snaps. That's Tavarius Strayhorn and Nick Brown down at Mount Pleasant.
Right.
I saw those two, both quarterbacks lead their team on touchdown scoring drives. One of them was much quicker than the other. Brown hit, I'm not sure who the receiver was because I don't know if the numbers are right or not on these scrimmage jerseys, but
Can't trust them.
yeah, it was about a 60-yard touchdown pass.
That was probably DeMarcus.
So it was a very good pass. And then earlier in the game, you got a touchdown drive from Kevin Cooper, who took full control of that drive and punched it down Collinwood, the middle of Collinwood's defense, and eventually into the end zone. So first time they've scored Mount Pleasant this year, and Kit Hartsfield said basically, I'm not worried, but we got to make sure we get better. So that's the key.
I think the good thing is that they have
Time.
Well, they've got talent over there to get better.
That's what he said. He said, man, our speed just covers up so many mistakes. They're fast.
On both sides of the ball.
They are fast. If they actually catch the interceptions instead of dropping them, could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the only high school football news we have.
Yeah. We had the news last week that Zion Christian has dropped 11-man football and will play 8-man football this year due to their participation numbers. Apparently, Pickett County is dropping 11-man football and not
playing at all.
Yeah, so there will be no football at Pickett County this year. According to a report on Main Street Preps, they were practicing with about 12 kids. And
that's what the report says.
Clearly that's, a safety issue. And so and this has been a trend at Pickett County for the last few years. I mean, I remember writing these stories in a previous life myself. So
yeah, Ray Reagan also resigned, their head coach.
4-24 in 3 years.
So he's resigned. They're not going to have a team. They finished 1-7 last year. That's tough.
Yeah. So
that being said, potentially those teams who are now looking for varsity games
that Pickett County canceled on could be looking to match up with teams that Zion Christian canceled on. So some of those folks could get a little relief as a result of this.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I know that the distance is not ideal, but sometimes it's still worth getting a gate.
Yeah, particularly if it was like, if your game against Zion was, coming off of or going into an open date, it might keep you from having back-to-back idle weeks, that kind of thing. So, it may be an option worth exploring for some folks. So we'll see how that goes.
No doubt. A couple of folks one in the sports and one in the sports entertainment world passed away earlier today. J.R. Richardson.
Richard.
I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry. J.R. Richardson is a basketball player. He did not.
No, J.R. Richard, this is before Chris's time. Longtime Major League pitcher, 10 seasons with the Houston Astros, died today at 71 years old. Won 100-plus games in 10 seasons with the Astros, went 107-71 with the 3.15, 76 complete games. And I know a lot of people out there are saying, what's a complete game? Yeah, 76 of them over 10 years. Struck out 15 in a complete game victory over the Giants in its Major League debut on September 5th, 1971, 2 years after the Astros took him second overall in the 69 draft. Won 18 games or more 4 straight years from 76 to 79, including 20 games in 76. Struck out a club record 303 batters in 78, and then struck out 313 the year after, while posting a 2.71 ERA to lead the National League. 10-4 with a 1.96 ERA to open the 1980 season. Started the All-Star game, and before the end of the month, suffered a career-ending stroke. He currently ranks second in career ERA for the Astros, third in strikeouts, fourth in complete games, fifth in wins and shutouts, and was part of that franchise's inaugural Hall of Fame induction class 2 years ago. 6'8", and threw like it.
And would have only been just as good going forward.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was certainly hitting his stride, it seemed, at the time of that
and that's
catastrophic event there.
Yeah, no doubt.
He man, like I said, he 6'8", probably about 240. And when you think of the phrase physically imposing, this is that guy. So condolences to his family, obviously, and to the Houston Astros family.
Also, like I said, in the sports entertainment world, beautiful Bobby Eaton, Huntsville native. Beautiful Bobby Eaton passed away today. One of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. So that is going to do it for our top stories. Before we get out of here, let's give you the Thursday rundown.
This is the Rundown. The Thursday Rundown is brought to you by Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management. Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management offers personalized wealth management strategies for clients based on where you are in your financial journey. Go see Barry at Crest Point Wealth Management at 700 North Main Street in Columbia. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Crest Point Wealth Management and Cambridge are not affiliated.
In baseball action this morning, as we mentioned, Post 19 was eliminated from the American Legion's Southeast Region Tournament with a 2-0 loss to Retief Oil. In Major League Baseball on Wednesday night, Cincinnati defeated Minnesota 6-5. The Brewers defeated the Pirates 4-2, and it was Oakland 5, San Diego 4.
The Mets down the Marlins 5-3 yesterday, but fell 4-2 to the Marlins today. It was the Cubs 3 to the Rockies 2 last night, and the Braves over the Cardinals 7-4.
For their second straight victory.
Hey, come on.
Hey, in Olympic action, Team USA defeated Korea 7-2 in baseball. In basketball, Team USA defeated Australia 97-78. And in Major League Soccer, New England and the Nashville Soccer Club battled to a scoreless draw.
Tonight, baseball action, Braves and Cardinals again on ESPN tonight at 7 o'clock. And then the Pirates will be at the Reds. That game is not on TV locally unless you have the MLB pass, I guess. That will start at 6:10. But Smyrna legend Sonny Gray on the bump for Cincinnati. In Olympic women's basketball, Team USA and Serbia tonight, 11:40.
That Braves-Cardinals game will also air on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM, pregame beginning at
6.
So
There you go. Right after our show. Slip it over.
There you go.
That's going to do it for your Thursday rundown on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. When we come back, new Culleoka girls basketball coach Catherine Upshaw joins us. So stick around on Coach's Corner. This is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We'll be right back right after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Maury County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Local sports talk you'll only find here. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Bottom of the hour here in hour number one. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We certainly appreciate you guys being with us on this Thursday edition of the show. WZYX 94.5 The Eagle, WKOM 101.7 FM, live on Facebook, Twitter. You can watch the video there. Just FYI, if you just want to see the awesomeness that JP is putting out, or you just want to see our beautiful faces, you can watch it. You can also see it at sm-tnsports.com, showing our live YouTube feed, and you can always get in on the show. Tell us what you're thinking.
Mo, that's kind of contradictory, isn't it? The awesomeness that we're putting out while at the same time talking about the faces of the two of you.
I said
or
you're
the three of us
doing the awesomeness.
Yes.
We
and our faces are.
No.
We're the faces, pretty or not. It's unfortunate
for radio.
us. Exactly. That's why we're on radio. But We are excited to bring you Coach's Corner on a random Thursday for the it is what it is. But we are excited to tell you about Coach's Corner, which is some of the best food in southern Middle Tennessee, out in Chapel Hill, located at 4384 Nashville Highway, Suite 200, which just means they're next to the gym. Go see Renee Hart and her crew as they never fail to whip up the best food in the area. So good.
And you don't have to wait till 10:30 at night to get it.
You don't. You don't have to wait till 10:30 at night to get it. But if you do, go to my mom's house. She'll whip you something right up. If you're hungry at 10:30, it's Taco Bell or Mom's. I don't know. But joining us on Coach's Corner this week is newly named Culleoka girls basketball coach, Catherine Upshaw. Coach, welcome into the show, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, we're just going to call you kindergarten coach.
We
Hey, I
are,
love
in
that.
fact, going to
I
call
love
you that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because by day, Catherine Upshaw is finishing up her first week as kindergarten teacher at Riverside Elementary School. And
Yes, sir.
by night, she will be the new girls coach at Culleoka, where she attended school through 8th grade. So what's it like when you go back out there as a 24-year-old and, you know, stand in that gym that you played middle school basketball in and walk those halls and that kind of thing?
Yeah. It's definitely different. Like you said, I kind of grew up there. I had an older brother, and he played for the boys basketball team all 4 years, and they were a great team when he was in school. And so, like I said, I kind of grew up there. So it might be a little bit weird going back, but I'm definitely more excited than nervous, I guess you could say. But I can't wait to be back. Like you said, it's been a while since I've been back, so there's going to be plenty of new faces. But I think that's what I'm most excited about, is just making my own thing at Culleoka. Because like I said, whenever I was there up to 8th grade, it was I was known as James's sister. That's my oldest brother, and he played basketball there. So I'm kind of excited to make a new name for myself and do what I love to do, is coach basketball. So, yeah.
Hopefully he will be Catherine's brother before very long,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what I've been teasing him about that.
Catherine Upshaw, the new girls basketball coach of the Culleoka Unit School varsity program. Coach, again, played at Culleoka through your 8th grade. You're transferred to Zion to play
Yes,
varsity basketball and finish up high school. What do you feel like you picked up at Zion Christian, at Maryville College, where you play collegiately,
Yeah.
that you can bring back in this role?
Well, at Zion, it was we never had a big team. And I saw that we don't have many on the roster at Culleoka right now. So, I mean, I kind of know about playing on a small team, especially for playing for Zion. So I know how to work with a small team very well, because I did that in high school. But being on Maryville's basketball team, it was a whole different experience. We were really good at winning. We were really good at communication. We were really good at just playing basketball. So, I mean, I've learned the winning aspect from Maryville and how great it feels to win. But also, winning brings a team together. And I think the most important part of playing, I guess, coaching now, is just having that team structure and just being able to be comfortable with each other, if that makes sense.
Comfortability is important, especially with a coach. And
Yeah.
the fact that you are a very young teacher and coach, that kind of gives you a little bit more of an insight into what these girls are going through on a daily basis, I'm sure. How do you feel like these girls are going to, I guess, how are you going to integrate with them?
I mean, I guess, yeah, being young and coaching high schoolers is definitely going to be hard, just in like the respect aspect. But what I've learned from teaching, like I did 4th grade this past year for half a year, and you just got to come in hard. I mean, the age is one thing, but you just have to assert your dominance and tell them how it is, and I'm not scared to make them go out. Like, I'll go out there and play with them any day, but I'm not scared to go out there, and if they don't want to, like, no, well, I guess my age is very, but if they don't respect me, I mean, that's something I'll have to jump on and get that to it, if that makes sense. I mean,
you know, that it's funny you say that, because I'm not sure who it was that we were talking to, Mo, but you know, being able to get on the court and say, don't test me because I can take you, is a big deal. Especially for teenagers. And you probably know that, as you know, being a teenager not too long ago, you probably had some of that in you. So you understand where that's coming from, no doubt. But
and I think that's, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I think that's another, how I can gain respect, is showing them that I know the game. I can play you if you want me to. But just in that aspect, I can hop out there with them and be like, from coaching standpoint, I can be out there. This is what I want you to do. I know how to do it. I'm teaching you how to do it, and so on, just like that.
What does your day-to-day, what do you feel like your day-to-day is going to be like? I mean, you're here teaching these kindergartners how to count and or whatever, and then you have to go, you know, to Culleoka and talk to teenagers. That's going to be a bit of a, I guess, the mental hype that you're going to have to do from Columbia to Culleoka is going to be interesting, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely be tired. I think it's pretty cool going from kindergartners to high school. I'm going to get the best of both worlds. That's what I've told my parents. Like, I'm just excited for it. I'm excited I love my kindergartners. I think they're awesome. But I'm also excited to get the opportunity to teach older people as well, if that makes sense, and to teach them what I like to do, is play basketball. I think that's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be great, and I just can't wait to get over there and start doing that.
Speaking with Catherine Upshaw, the new Culleoka girls basketball coach, here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Coach, it's been a while since I've had a kindergartner, so forgive me if I don't know. Are those half-day classes still?
Are half days still?
Yeah. Do you go to? Is kindergarten a half day or is it a full day?
No. So actually, this week today was my first day with kindergartners, and it's staggered days. So what that is, I have a third of my class today, a third of my class tomorrow, and then a third on Monday, and then on Tuesday is our first full day with, I think 16 kindergartners right now, and the numbers are still climbing. So no telling how many I'll have this Tuesday, but no half days.
Oh, so 5-year-olds are going to school from 8 till 2:30 or whatever it is. When?
Yes, sir. We dismiss at 3:15. Yes, sir.
Oh.
It's a long day. Yeah.
That's a long day for a little person.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
But you get a nap in there, right? Well, you don't.
No, there's no nap time on the schedule anymore.
I'm sorry. No, there's going to have to be some sort of resting involved.
How do you keep a 5-year-old's attention for that period of time?
You don't. I mean, you just throw punches.
Great answer.
You just roll with the punches and make sure you have just stuff to do. I mean, they'll listen to you as long as you're talking. I'm telling you, you cannot underestimate these 5-year-olds. They know a lot more than you think.
And you said you had 16, and those numbers are climbing?
Still climbing, yes, sir.
Wow.
That is a.
Because, see, I mean, when I was in kindergarten, which, I mean, we wrote on stone tablets and all that, obviously, but, I mean, it was a half a day. We got out at noon, and we went home. And I just can't imagine those youngsters.
It's a long day. It's a long day. That's for sure.
And that's the thing. You said they'll listen to you as long as you're talking, and then
so you're talking all day, huh?
And not only is she talking, but then she goes to the teenagers who don't listen whether you're talking or not.
Well, that's what I was telling my parents. I was like, I don't know honestly if there's going to be a huge difference between talking to kindergartners and high schoolers. Not in a bad way whatsoever. I'm just, kids are kids. So, if that makes sense.
Well, I tell you, I guess that 20-minute drive from Riverside to Culleoka will give you an opportunity to kind of shift.
Yep, I'll have to do it. I'll have to make that work, which I'm looking forward to doing that and just being with them.
I don't know, given when you took your position, how familiar are you with this team?
Not at all. Honestly, I got asked that question the other day, and I mean, I know the former head coach, Trisha Reichman. She was at Culleoka when I was at Culleoka in middle school. So I know her daughter's a senior, but I honestly have never met these girls yet. So it's going to be brand new faces for everybody.
So that said, are you looking at any kind of video or anything like that to try to figure out what you've got, or are you just going to wait until first practice?
I have not got access to videos yet, but I will probably be making my way to last year's tape and seeing how they play as an individual, how they play as a team, and just in that sense, because this goes back to Maryville. We watch game tape on our opponents and on ourselves sometimes, literally, I think maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And it's so important how you watch tape and how you take that tape in. So, I mean, I'll be catching up on plenty of videos, and I'm sure my girls will be too during season, just seeing how they play and opponents and in that sense.
Catherine Upshaw on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe, going to be taking over the Culleoka Lady Warriors for now. We'll see how that discussion continues to unfold.
No doubt. Warriors, Devil Warriors.
The Devil Warriors, that was what I called them last year. Yeah. So we're excited to get you on the sidelines and excited to watch you coach this team. We appreciate you taking some time with us today.
Of course.
And we look forward to kindergarten coach coming up this fall.
Yes, sir. Well, thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
That was Catherine Upshaw. No relation to Courtney that we know of, the Alabama linebacker.
No, but apparently James's sister.
Hopefully that changes for her very soon.
Oh, yeah.
I certainly hope so. We are going to talk a little high school football very, very soon on the other side of a break. We're going to continue with our local high school football previews. We get a Murray County team today in Mount Pleasant. The Mount. Go Tigers. So stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as reported by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Holland's Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Holland's Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Holland's Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low, low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal!
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yow.
Welcome back. 12 minutes to the top of the hour. Hour number one of the 2-hour show that you get here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Live from the Lee Company studio, Chris Yow, JP Plant, Mo Patton, killing it today. We're just...
That last segment was fun.
That was fun. She's great. I can't wait to get out to some Culleoka basketball games. She seems like a what some would call a fireball.
I am shocked that kindergarten students are going to school the same amount of time as middle schoolers or anybody else.
With no nap. They took nap time out. That was the only reason to go to kindergarten.
I mean, can you imagine the mood that they're in when they get home?
That's when nap time is.
That was the biggest takeaway from the interview, wasn't it?
It really was.
No more nap time for kindergarten.
Well, no more nap time and all-day classes.
Yep. Did your kids not go all day?
No.
Really? Wow. I went all day.
I did too.
I mean, we got out maybe like an hour early.
Yeah, we were out an hour early, but that was just for car line.
Okay, but see, when did you graduate?
Well, I went to kindergarten in 83.
Okay, so see, my kids were born in 90 and 95.
Yeah, I went full time is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 91, 92, I was full time.
Oh.
Maybe it's just
it might be a Williamson County
thing. They don't want to put up with those get those little rugrats out.
Yeah.
We can only say so much to them.
Get them gone. Yeah.
Right. But so that's that was fun. You're right.
Yeah.
It was fun. Real quick before we get to Mount Pleasant, breaking news from Tommy Bryan. NASCAR Awards Week will return to Nashville in late November, so that's always fun. That typically includes the Burnout on Broadway and all that fun stuff. So last year was a blast. Or not last year, 2 years ago? 2 years ago. Was an absolute blast. So
I think most organizations would tell you any opportunity to hold an event in Nashville
is a good idea.
And you know, when you've got folks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. and others endorsing last year's event the way they did, you had to know it wasn't a question of whether they were going to be back, just when they were going to acknowledge it. So,
yeah, no question. All right, let's get into some Mount Pleasant football, because first-year coach Kit Hartsfield is certainly going to have athletes. They're pretty good up front, but moving into 2A is a different animal.
Yeah, and I think moving into 2A, coming off of the season that they're coming off of last year, 1-8 finished last year. Their only victory was over Loretto. I think some doubt started to creep into this program, but I think when you look around and you look at the pieces that are there, and I think we said this last year when Bronson Bradley was dismissed, I think this team was going to be good whether there was a coaching change or not. I think last year was the exception for this program and not the rule, and I think they've got a chance again in this region to play for the number 2 spot, probably behind Forest. We've talked about their scrimmages last week against Cornersville and then Tuesday night against Collinwood, and they've sputtered a little offensively, but I think when they bring some things together, when they solidify things up front, in particular with Dontavius Ellison and those guys in the trenches, I think they've got plenty at the skill positions that's going to allow them to be competitive on a nightly basis.
When you talk about those skill positions and you talk about these guys that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, I mean, led by sophomore Kevin Cooper, who is probably going to be the starting running back and the guy who carries the load for that run game, I am just super excited to watch this kid grow up.
Well, and here's the thing. You saw him last year down at Fayetteville in a game that they lost, but you came back just I remember you coming back raving about that kid, and he's pretty much lived up to that on the football field ever since that kind of coming out party for him that night. And he's a guy that I think you're going to see them kind of build things around, particularly in the run game.
Definitely. And then, of course, you've got the two quarterbacks who are going to alternate possessions and have done so from day one. Strayhorn and Brown. Taveri Strayhorn, the returning starter, but an entirely different offensive mindset for this Mount Pleasant team could certainly give Nick Brown an opportunity, because he probably does have the better traditional quarterback form.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. I think Strayhorn is more effective in the run game.
But he can also sling it.
He can sling it. He can sling it. He can sling it. I don't know that. I think Brown probably is a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, if you're talking the 8 to 12 yard passing game, you probably want Nick Brown. But if you want somebody who can stretch the field and force you to keep an eye on him with his legs, it's Strayhorn. So they give you something completely different, which forces you as a defensive coordinator to prepare for both quarterbacks, and that's tough to do.
And see, here's the thing. Not only do they have the quarterbacks that force that, but they've got DeMarcus Brown who can take the top off any defense.
Anybody.
And they've got Tyler Berry at tight end who can hurt you across the middle and doesn't mind making those tough catches when you know there's going to be contact after the catch.
Who was the kid from 7-on-7 that made every big play?
Every big play, and I do not remember his name, but we're going to need to.
Yeah, we'll know it after week one. I'll bet you, because that kid was phenomenal, and especially at his size. He's about 5'7", 5'8". Looks really good in the slot, but in that smash route in the slot, kid looks fantastic and is able to score a bunch of touchdowns in 7-on-7 doing that. So, yeah, this is a team that, and again, up front, both offensively and defensively, should be very good.
Yeah. And one thing that I don't think you should overlook is this team in the defensive secondary with Jeffrey Williamson and your buddy Archibald.
Yeah, Archibald playing linebacker and defensive back he's kind of like that nickel guy. He can step up and play linebacker. He can drop back and play a little DB. He's a solid kid, sideline to sideline too.
Yeah. So again, we feel like they've got some pieces and can do some damage. I mean,
as long as they don't drop the interceptions.
Yeah, got to hang on to the football when you have the opportunity there. So,
I mean, just if for nothing else, the momentum factor, right? I mean,
yeah, when you've got a chance to, break the other team's back in that situation, yeah, you got to, kind of switch that momentum when the opportunity is there. Again, Mount Pleasant moving to Region 5 2A this year. They open their season at home against East Hickman on August 20th. Go to Scotts Hill, open region play on September 3rd against visiting Cascade. Open on September 10th because they were supposed to go to Zion Christian. Yeah. They play at Loretto in region play on the 17th. September 24th, they have Columbia Central coming in, followed by a region game against Richland at home. On October 15th, they go to Summertown. They finish up at home against Spring Hill and at Forest.
There you go. It's going to be a good year for this particular district. But not only that, this county, because Mount Pleasant plays both Spring Hill.
Everybody plays everybody.
And Columbia Central.
I don't know if there's going to be any kind of a Murray County Cup or anything like that. Maybe we can.
That's
something
not
together.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
Look at you
Yeah.
with the big brain over there. We'll have to get that going.
Yeah.
Get Jones and Lang involved there.
There we go.
The more you know. Sorry, is that not what
This
that was?
guy. This
JP's
guy.
the new this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited about this season in Kit Hartsfield's first year at Mount Pleasant. He's got some great assistants down there. Dre Hall, Tredarius Goff, all kinds of Murray County legends.
No doubt.
Down in the south side of the county. So, all right, that's going to do it for this hour. We will come back in hour number 2 and we will talk Atlanta Braves baseball, the Sounds. Later in the hour, we have David Beauclair of SI.com. Talk a little NFL. We'll also talk about the broadcast teams of Fox, NFL, and more. So stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, will return to the Lee Company studio right after this. Talking high school sports daily on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today with Maurice Patton. I'm Chris Yow, and this is 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
This could rev up a green debate. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden proposing new mileage and anti-pollution standards, reversing a rollback by President Trump to help meet his goal of cutting greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030. And he says there's an auto industry commitment to make half of all vehicles sold in the U.S. electric by the end of this decade.
And there's no turning back. The question is whether we'll lead or fall behind in the race for the future.
The president is also urging that key components, including batteries and semiconductors, be made in the U.S. as a chip shortage affecting auto production continues. The president also paying tribute today to law enforcement officers who responded to the attack on the Capitol.
President Biden is using the backdrop of the Rose Garden to sign legislation awarding congressional gold medals to members of the Capitol and Metropolitan Police Departments who defended attended the complex during the January 6th riot. The medals will be placed in 4 locations: the Capitol Police Headquarters, the Metropolitan Police Department, the U.S. Capitol, and the Smithsonian Institution.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland at the White House. Hospitals running out of beds again as COVID's Delta variant pushes average cases in the U.S. to nearly 90,000 a day. And in Texas, emergency shelters are popping up to deal with infected migrants.
Although this is a federal issue, the safety and health of our Hidalgo County residents is a priority for us. So I authorized the use of Ansalduas Park.
Hidalgo County Commissioner Everardo Villarreal says this follows another shelter opened in McAllen, Texas, as local officials accuse the Biden administration of releasing COVID-positive migrants into communities. The White House defends its efforts to handle a record surge over the southern border. America is listening to Fox News.
When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. With Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. Don't just hope your perfect candidate will find you. Indeed's hiring tools help you cut through the noise to hire faster and smarter. Indeed Instant Match provides a list of quality candidates whose resumes are on Indeed the moment you post a sponsored job. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Indeed.com/Fox. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
The Justice Department opens a civil rights probe into the Phoenix Police Department.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says use of force policies, allegations of discrimination, and claims of retaliation against people exercising free speech are at issue. The Attorney General says police dealings with the disabled and the homeless will get a close look as being on the edge of policing.
This makes police officers' jobs more difficult, increases unnecessary confrontations with law enforcement, and hinders public safety.
This will be a pattern of practice investigation. In a statement, Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego says she welcomes the review and will support the process. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
3 House Republicans are still suing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over fines for not wearing masks during a House vote. Well, now one of them has a breakthrough case of COVID. South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman says he's quarantining after experiencing minor symptoms and testing positive. He's been vaccinated since February. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who's also nursing a breakthrough case, tells the Associated Press today he's urging former President Trump to be aggressive in pressing his supporters to get vaccinated. President Biden among those paying tribute to longtime labor leader Richard Trumka. The head of the AFL-CIO died of a heart attack today. He was 72.
He was an American worker, always fighting for working people, protecting their wages, their safety, their pensions, and their ability to build a middle-class life.
The president calling Trumka a close personal friend and someone he could confide in. Air Force jets land on a highway in Michigan today, the first time that's been done on purpose as part of a large-scale military exercise. A rally on Wall Street, the Dow was up 271 points on the day. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
If reporters can break big news every day, why can't your team seem to hire one person in a matter of months? Make slow hiring old news with Indeed Instant Match. When hiring gets hard, you need Indeed, the job site that makes hiring incredibly simple. Just attract, interview, and hire. In fact, with Indeed, you can do all of your hiring in one place, even interviewing. Don't just hope your perfect candidate will find you. Indeed's hiring tools help you cut through the noise to hire faster and smarter. Indeed Instant Match immediately delivers quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description. You can even invite them to apply right away. And according to Indeed data, candidates you invite are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than those who only see it in search alone. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Fox. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/Fox. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
When the Braves play, Chris and Mo are talking about it.
Yeah, that's trash can juice.
Speak for yourself.
For better or worse, on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Back to the Lee Company studio. Yep, they're fans too. Here's Chris and Mo.
Welcome back in 6 minutes past hour number 2 on your drive home now. Good evening. It's Thursday evening here at Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris, Yow, Mo Patton, JP Plant with you here on this beautiful throwback Thirsty Thursday. We're going to talk a little about the Nashville Sounds in this segment. We'll talk a little bit about the Atlanta Braves, but first we're going to talk about our friends at Zion Christian Academy. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. And now we talk about the fact that the Atlanta Braves have found themselves once again for the 7th time this season with a 500 record, 54-54 with 54 games to play in the season. The Braves have won 27 games at home, 27 games on the road. They've lost 27 games at home and lost 27 games on the road. This team is nothing if not consistent.
That's pretty amazing.
It really is. I wonder if that's ever happened before. I can't imagine that.
I cannot imagine. I can't.
And if it has, my condolences to whomever was a fan of that team.
Excuse me. It's funny, I was listening to the Braves pregame yesterday, and one of the guys on their pregame show said that basically Braves fans are where the majority of Major League Baseball fans reside the majority of the time. I mean, this last few years has really been the anomaly in terms of, following these Braves, because they were in first place for the majority of last season and for most of the past few. This year they're really having to grind, and every game matters. It feels
right.
Like. And from that, the point was, this is more real than some of the other experiences that Braves fans have had, just because you don't know.
Braves fans
you never
like
know.
Braves fans like me are we don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up. I mean, dude, I'm 6 years old in 1992. Okay, 91 to 2004, or 2005, however long the Braves won the division.
14 straight.
That's all I remember.
Right.
That's it.
So this is like WT.
Right. I'm like,
fill in the blank.
And then, obviously we had a few years, that 2007, 2008 stretch where we were grooming Brian McCann and all those guys. You were kind of like, okay, well, the future's coming back. And then 2011 happens, and the infield fly and all of those sorts of things. And then 2012 to 2015, where you're like, okay, what the crap? We've tried. We've got the Uptons. We've got Hayward. Now we've gotten rid of Hayward and all these things. You're like, why are we in such turmoil? And then surprisingly, they win the 18 NL East. Nobody expected them to win the 18 NL East. Everybody thought, well, the Nationals are coming off a world championship. They're the favorite to win the NL East. That makes sense.
Until they didn't.
And now it's like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be. We're a really good team. We've won the division a couple years in a row. Last year, we're a game away from the World Series. And then this year, you're like, all right, that team right there is all coming back, really.
Mm-hmm. Let's
roll. And then just absolute brutal.
That was great. Can you tape that?
I've been doing that for a long, long time.
Oh, that was impressive. Yeah. So
just fell off a cliff. It felt like Wile E. Coyote, like we're just running in midair, and then, yeah.
So this is tonight. As the Braves go into this game against the Cardinals, final game of a 3-game series, they go in, as you said, at 54-54, 27-27 at home, 27-27 on the road.
With 54 games to play.
Yeah. They go in. This is the 7th time this year that the Braves have been at 500. They have lost each of their previous 6 games in that situation. They are 7-14 now in games to get to 500 with last night's 7-4 comeback victory. So, mediocrity. Thou art the Braves. I mean,
yes.
What?
So last night the Braves get down 3-0 after that Arenado homer, right? Tied up on the backs of a sac fly from Vogt and the 2-run homer from Soler. And then Vogt was the 4-3. How did we get to the 3rd run? Anyway.
I don't remember.
Whatever it was, we get up 4-3 on the Vogt. Oh, it was
Soler hit a home run.
Soler ties it with the home run. That's what it was. So Soler ties it with the home run. We go up 4-3, and then Chris Martin doesn't even look at the base runners, and they double steal, killing me.
And then they get a sac fly.
And then they get the sac fly tied up. So that takes the win out of Richard Rodriguez's hand and puts it into the guy who blew the game into his hand. But
blown save / win for Chris Martin.
Is what it is. Adam Duvall goes yard again. This guy has been just crazy good in clutch situations.
Yeah, and you know, they have completely remade this outfield on the fly. And I mean, you got to give Anthopoulos some credit for that. I still don't think Heredia is a bad guy to have around.
I agree.
I think
the double last night.
Willie doubles. I think Almonte is probably better in a reserve role, but I think he still gives you something.
The problem with him is once Rosario gets back, he's got to go because you can't get rid of the only infielder you have,
Adrianza,
which is Adrianza.
Right.
So it's just unfortunate. Almonte is going to have to go down, and it is what it is.
Go down, stay sharp, be ready, because
and
if this season has shown you nothing else,
you got to be ready.
You never know.
But you know, my point earlier was that it felt like the Braves they kind of clawed back. They get ahead, and then some unfortunate. They get the unfortunate situation of the double steal and the sac fly, and it's like crap. This team can't catch a break. And I texted you and I said it feels like if the Braves ever get over that hump, it's going to be downhill. They're just going to roll. And I really feel like this is the schedule and the time that they can do that.
And it's funny because, again, I was listening to the pregame show last night on our sister station, 103.7 WKRM FM. As you can
do tonight at 6 o'clock.
And they were saying basically that same thing, that this is the time, and going through the Braves schedule over the next week, 10 days, 2 weeks, and looking at the Mets schedule over that same period of time, that's nothing but Dodgers and Giants and Dodgers and Giants. And
which is why we're no longer chasing the Mets. We're chasing the Phillies, who get the Mets this weekend.
So let's let them beat up on each other and make up some ground.
The Braves can do that. If the Mets and Phillies were to somehow, split over the next 4 days, however that happens, then the Braves are right there for the taking to take the lead in the NL East, especially even though you've got Cincinnati, it's at least at home. You got to go on the road to Washington and Miami, but both of those teams sold at the deadline. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, of course, Alex Jackson's going to hit a couple bombs off of us, but that's neither here nor there. That's par for the course.
Yeah.
But other than that, it just feels like they're the little engine that needed to get to the top of the hill. And now that they're there and they have an opportunity with this Cardinals team and Wade LeBlanc, who's
0-2 with a 4.17 ERA, and he's got to be at least 38 years old.
Right. So this is the time to get over that hump. And once you do, man, just go downhill from there. And if you can roll off like they used to do back in those days where they'd win 14 out of 16 or whatever, and you suddenly find yourself 7-8 games ahead in the NL East, it's over.
Yep. Tuki Toussaint gets the start tonight for the Braves in this 7-15 matchup against the Cardinals. He of the 1-2 record with the 4.76 ERA, and it's probably thrown better than those numbers indicate. So,
well, that's just a poor indication. I mean, he had two just absolute dominant performances when he came back. Last time out wasn't great, but still serviceable.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was a bad start, and he still only has a 4.76 ERA in 3 decisions. So
right.
Give us this damn Braves history.
August 5th, 1967, pinch hitter Charlie Lyle's 9th inning bases-loaded grounder forces Hank Aaron at the plate, but a throw-in error scores Joe Torre from second base with the eventual game winner as the Braves edge the host Chicago Cubs 2-1. Cleet Boyer's solo homer in the 7th off Fergie Jenkins tied the game after the host scored in the 2nd. Both Jenkins and Phil Niekro went the distance, with Niekro striking out 10 and scattering 6 hits in the victory.
Clint Boyer. Not the race car
driver. Not the NASCAR guy. Cleet Boyer.
Yeah. I like his name.
Yeah.
I like his name.
So
there you go. And as we told you earlier, it is Throwback Thursday at First Horizon Park. Nashville Sounds 46-34, taking on the Mud Hens of Toledo 45-34. Aaron Ashby goes to the bump with a 5-4 record, 4.95 ERA. Much of his ERA was thrashed when he was in the bullpen. So don't even look at that. He goes against Logan Shore tonight, who's 2-2 with a 4.44 ERA. Split last night in the 9:15 game 2 start time. 9:15. I told y'all it was going to be late.
Yeah, you were right. 5-2 they lost in the opener, won the second game 11-7. After starting at 9:15, they had a couple of 5-run innings. 5 in the second, 5 in the 6th.
They needed to get warmed up.
I guess. Yeah.
They like it when it's late, man. They hit better at 9 o'clock at night, whether it's the start of the game or the end of one. They just like that 9 o'clock hour.
There you go. There you go.
All right, that's going to do it for this segment, which is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy. When we come back, we've got David Beauclair, who's going to talk a little NFL. He's the Titans and NFL writer for SI.com. I think he's a publisher of SI.com, according to his Twitter bio. So that's kind of a big deal. He'll talk a little NFL Hall of Fame game tonight. A little trade rumor circling around. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Right back after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the Garbage Man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
From the Blue Raiders to the two-tone blue, covering the teams you care about. It's only on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Middle of hour number 2 on this Thursday edition of the show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. WKOM 1017 FM, WZYX 94.5 The Eagle down in Winchester and Cowan and Deckard and Estill Springs and Huntland and everywhere else that's in Franklin County. Thank you guys so much for listening. We do appreciate you. Seth Chapman on Facebook thanking us for talking a little baseball. And Seth, every day we talk about it. For better or worse, we're going to talk about the Braves. It just is what it is.
Let me give you the rest of the story. Seth Chapman's dad, Danny Chapman, was my driver's ed teacher.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so me and Seth go way back.
Sorry, Seth.
Appreciate you listening, Seth. Thinking about you.
Now we get a chance to talk a little National Football League, as the Hall of Fame game is tonight, featuring the Dallas Cowboys, which is
the Dak Prescott lists Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they get an extra preseason game, I think, because of the Hall of Fame game. So,
and he's still nursing that shoulder injury. But they take on the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Formerly my favorite team in the NFL. Well, I mean, Birmingham, Pittsburgh of the South. I didn't really have a team, had friends in Pittsburgh, so I was like, you know. But I've adopted my new hometown team.
Well, that's probably a good thing, because our next guest is from Philadelphia, so you don't want to give him a reason to hate you before you even talk to him. David Beauclair of SI.com joining us here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports. Mr. Beauclair, good afternoon.
Mo, how are you? And I've been out of Philly a long time. I'm more a Southerner now these days. I'll tell you what, if this was the mid to late '70s, that'd be a hell of a game tonight, wouldn't
it? Wouldn't it?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, even for a preseason game, people'd be going crazy for that if it was about 40 years ago. But
Yeah, and this one it hardly moves the needle. I mean, I didn't realize until I got up and started checking Twitter today that the game was even today. I mean, it literally just kind of snuck up on us here, DB. How does that happen? First of all.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing. I knew the game was coming up. I actually was thinking it was this weekend, but I think we went a year last year with no preseason games, and honestly, how many people missed them? A lot of folks are excited. Yeah, it's football tonight. Yeah, you're going to tune in. I don't think anybody's going to watch that game from start to finish. You're going to watch. You're either going to watch early to see what kind of players are playing, or you're going to tune in for 10 minutes just to watch a little football. But I mean, did anybody really miss preseason football last year? I know I didn't, probably in the big picture. So that's why I think it like everything else, COVID sort of changed our perspective on things. And it's not like people had a love affair with preseason football as it was, and now I think there's probably even more of a sense than ever that people could live without preseason NFL football if they were to do away with it altogether.
David, I'm the weird guy who is an FCS football fan, so the only time I get to hear names I know are in the third and fourth quarter of the preseason. So,
yeah.
So I'm watching the game start to finish because, well, I know those guys, and I'm curious as to which ones are going to play well enough to get roster spots. But I am definitely the outlier, so I certainly understand that sentiment for sure.
Again, David Beauclair of SI.com with us here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. David, again, tonight's Hall of Fame game kicks off the Hall of Fame weekend, and 2 classes will be inducted this weekend, which really is going to make Saturday a long day in Canton.
Yeah, I guess it will, and it seems like we're hitting an age in the NFL too where it almost feels like the classes aren't big enough year to year. There's guys now every year where you feel like this guy should be in there now too, and that guy should be in there. But obviously the big one everybody's excited about, I guess. Peyton Manning, right? Is that I don't remember. He's going in this year. He's part of this year's class, not last year's class. Is that right?
That's correct. Peyton Manning is in this year's class along with Calvin Johnson. Of course, Charles Woodson and Peyton Manning are going into the Hall of Fame together because, of course, John Lynch.
I've talked about that. It's really interesting to me because the Peyton Manning Charles Woodson debate will never ever 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 die because they were both fantastic that year, right? And you could say, well, the Heisman Trophy is not about who's the best NFL prospect, but if one had a significantly better NFL career than the other, then that side could have said, well, see, we told you Charles Woodson was better than Peyton Manning, or you see, we told you Peyton Manning was better than Charles Woodson, should have won. But they were both just insanely good as NFL players too, right? I mean, like there's never going to be another Heisman Trophy race or debate like the Peyton Manning Charles Woodson one. It's unbelievable to me how that thing worked out.
And so, of course, again, they're going into the Hall of Fame together.
They couldn't have given Peyton just 1 year before Charles just to even it up.
Yeah, I mean that's again like there's just nothing significant to separate these guys in terms of their performance, their greatness, their notoriety. It's just and of course Peyton Manning's greatest sin will always be that he was so far and away the favorite going into that season that everybody basically spent that entire season looking for who else they might they should be looking at, and Charles Woodson emerged with a one of a kind year that way. But that I guess that'll go down as pretty much the only thing Peyton Manning never accomplished in football.
Well, other than beating Florida.
Yeah, that's right. 2 things. Forgive me.
Yeah.
If he had beaten Florida, he might have won it.
Yeah, exactly. Also going in this class of 2021, John Lynch, Alan Faneca, Drew Pearson. It's about time.
Right.
Tom Flores and Bill Nunn as a contributor, long-time scout for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, the class of 2020 also being inducted, and I don't know if I want to read this entire list, but Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson.
Is that why Pittsburgh and Dallas are playing in this game?
That could be. It could be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Isaac Bruce from Memphis State going in this year as part
and
of
also
the
1999 Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that. But, it's a star-studded induction class between these 2 years for sure. David, we wanted to talk a little bit about, the Hall of Fame weekend, but also there was a tweet that I saw last night that I really kind of wanted to get somebody's input on, and I think, given your Philadelphia background, you might be able to weigh in a little bit.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson to the Eagles?
Yeah, it's there was a bit of a buzz about that, and it's sort of been quashed a little bit just by the fact that no one has followed that. It's like you think about what happened a couple weeks ago when the Houston Chronicle reported that Texas and Oklahoma were talking to the SEC, and then within no time, ESPN and other folks were suddenly reporting the same thing and what have you. And this was a tweet from CBS Sports last night, I think, and nobody has really followed it up other than to say, well, yeah, there's been some discussions, but nothing. The sense is that nothing is imminent. It feels like Deshaun Watson has to get out of Houston. Whatever becomes of his legal entanglement, there's just a bad taste there now, and everything else that has gone on with that franchise. That franchise is sort of trying to get a fresh start, and I think they wanted to get a fresh start building around Deshaun Watson. But I don't know that they're going to be able to do that. Everybody just sort of looks at him a little differently, and like I say, regardless of what happens, I think they will continue to look at him a little differently down there. And franchise executives are probably asking themselves, do we want this guy to be the face of our franchise and what have you? So it feels like he needs to get the trade that he apparently wants, and whether it's the Philadelphia or somewhere else, I guess it's going to happen. The Eagles thing is surprising to me because they've committed themselves to Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a terrific sort of presence, a terrific leader. I don't know. I'm still not sold on the fact that he can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he sure showed me a lot last year, more than I would have expected from him in his rookie season. And it seems like it'd be an odd move to sort of pivot away from Jalen Hurts, who by all accounts is a person of impeccable character right now too, and take on Deshaun Watson as insanely talented as he is, but the baggage that he's going to bring with him in a trade like that.
And that's my thing, David. I mean, the fact that someone is looking at trading for Deshaun Watson, given everything that he's got going on off the field, isn't the question whether he's going to be able to play for anybody?
Yeah, I mean, if you make that move, you're thinking more long term than short term. You're hoping he can play this year. If not, I think you're gambling that he's not going to be sent to prison for 5 years or whatever it's going to be. But it's such a murky situation. The way the whole thing has. The way the whole thing is played out, and the fact that none of his accusers went to the police is discouraging to me, and causes me to question a little bit the fact that there are so many accusers and that their stories are similar, and the fact that Deshaun Watson apparently is finding masseuses off of Craigslist is confounding to me, and makes the situation look terrible. I mean, Mo, athletes at elite athletes at any level are insanely particular about what they do and how they do it and who they do it with. And I cannot imagine that Deshaun Watson, the football player, thinks it's a really good idea to just have random masseuses tending to his muscles out. Like that to me is the red flag of all red flags.
Yep. You get those things in the clubhouse typically. I mean, that's available to you. You just got to ask.
If you're Deshaun Watson and all the money he's made, you have your own personal masseuse who you have on retainer and they're at your beck and call. And if you're laying in bed at midnight on a Tuesday and all of a sudden you have back spasms, you pick up the phone, you call that person, and they come over. Like you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your body to just some random person online.
When your body is how you make your living. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that in this whole thing where you want to look at both sides and everybody's innocent until they're proven guilty. That is the thing that really has me going, boy, Deshaun Watson, he's in some trouble here.
Yeah. David, as you continue to look at the situation implode in Houston, you look at the injury situations in Indianapolis with Quentin Nelson and Carson Wentz and Darius Leonard. You look at Jacksonville being Jacksonville. I mean, if you are a Tennessee Titans fan, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at in terms of the AFC South right now, do you not?
You're loving life. Mo, if you asked me 6 weeks ago, I would have told you the Titans are the second best team in the division. They're looking up at Indianapolis. Their best bet is to sneak in as one of the wild card teams this year and see what you can do in the playoffs. Then they trade for Julio Jones, and you go, well, you know what? Their receiving core was one of the big question marks I've had, and they not only got a guy, they got a spectacular guy, right? Yeah. You go, okay, now it looks like a coin flip. You got a 2-horse race there. It's the Titans and it's the Colts, and the Texans and Jaguars can do whatever they're going to do in the other half of the division. Now all of a sudden you take Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson out of the equation for 5 to 12 weeks, whatever the number is. All of a sudden it's possible. You look at the schedule. Titans and the Colts play twice in the first 8 weeks of the season. It's possible the Titans could face the Colts both times this year without either one of those guys, and then all of a sudden you're saying it looks like the Titans should be able to sweep that series, right? And I mean, at the very worst, you're thinking you're going 5-1, probably 6-0 in the division. You go 6-0 in the division, you're winning that thing, no question. And that's I think if you're a Titans fan, that's probably you're probably feeling that way right now. Like this is all not that you root for guys to get hurt, but this is all really, really good news for the Titans. The way things have gone here lately.
You almost have to wonder, did John Robinson, did Mike Vrabel, or did John Robinson and Mike Vrabel go down to the crossroads together?
Yeah, exactly. Because now we'll see. Let's be honest. One of the naysayers on the Julio Jones trade. Well, he's going to be the 7th oldest wide receiver in the league. He's coming off an injury-plagued season. I've seen people say he's got 3 years left on his contract. If the Titans get one good year out of him, they should consider themselves lucky. And then here we saw him on Monday, the first day he's involved in team drills at practice, and a couple of snaps in, he goes down. It wasn't an awkward fall. It wasn't a weird collision. It wasn't anything. He just ends up going down after an incomplete pass, doesn't get up right away, talks to the trainers. Trainers end up taking him inside. We have not seen him on the practice field the last 2 days, and Mike Vrabel said yesterday, we're going to be really conservative with him between now and the start of the regular season, and basically said there'll be some days he practices, a lot of days he doesn't. So, if you were worried about Julio Jones being injury prone, breaking down, whatever term you want to use, you certainly don't feel any better about that right now.
And today, David, on top of everything else, Matt Barkley joins the Titans?
Well, I wrote it, Mo. It's Logan Woodside. We keep saying how is this guy the number 2? When can the Titans get better at that spot? Logan Woodside just keeps batting these guys away apparently, and it's funny because during OTAs and mini camps, the practices we were allowed to see, Deshaun Kaiser was one of the guys I watched fairly closely because I wanted to see him. I'd seen him, I'd watched him on TV, obviously at Notre Dame when he played there. He was obviously terrible with the Browns on a terrible Browns team as a rookie in 2017. Hasn't played an NFL regular season game since 2018, but I thought, I want to see this guy, and he had a much better arm than I thought, and about his athleticism, and I thought, this is going to be a really, really interesting little training camp battle. You don't get a lot of really genuine training camp battles in the NFL these days, but I thought backup quarterback was going to be one of them. And then, I watched Kaiser last week when you had the full roster together and you're going 11-11, and he looked really indecisive far too often. Just standing there holding the ball, can't find the receiver open. Sometimes when he made throws, he made some terrible throws, and pretty quickly you just started thinking, this is no contest. I mean, Logan Woodside's the number 2, Deshaun Kaiser is the number 3, and now Kaiser is out at number 3. You try Matt Barkley, and this is a guy who's been in the league since 2013, has been on the field for 19 regular season games, has thrown twice as many interceptions as he has touchdown passes. It's 22-11. So is this a guy you're excited about? Saying, well, here's a veteran presence who can come in and back up Ryan Tannehill, or do you just say, Logan Woodside's a young guy who sooner or later is going to have to get some playing experience, and has done nothing at this point to make anyone say he's not going to deserve that opportunity when it comes.
I think that's kind of, at the number 3 spots, you can kind of just let that be a rotating, revolving door until you find somebody who can be at least comparable to your number 2, right? I mean, that's the way it goes.
Well, in this day, Chris, too, in this day and age with COVID and the COVID protocols, my guess is what you're looking for is somebody who can be your quarantine quarterback,
Gotcha.
Which is to say he's not going to be at practices. He's going to be in meetings via Zoom and that sort of thing. So you want somebody who at least has some kind of experience, who knows what an NFL offense is,
Sure.
who's been in a bunch of those meetings and has had his practice time and all those sorts of things. So it in that regard, it has to be really if you have somebody as inexperienced as Logan Woodside at number 2, then your number 3 in this case has to be an experienced guy, whether it's great experience or not. It has to be experience, because I think every team in the league saw what happened to the Denver Broncos, whatever week it was last year, and no one wants to repeat that. So I would imagine everybody's going to have a quarantine quarterback this year.
That makes a lot of sense. David Beauclair, SI.com. Thanks for taking some time with us today. Man, we really appreciate it and the insight that you have given us.
Hey, I'm happy to do it anytime, gentlemen.
All right, David Beauclair of SI.com joining us on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports today. When we come back, we're going to talk about some broadcast team news. Fox, which is broadcasting the game tonight, have announced their NFL crews. A new analyst on ESPN. We'll tell you who it is when we come right back.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as awarded by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Holland's Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low, low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Sports talk show you've always wanted. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. From preps to pros. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome back in. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. 11 minutes to the top of the hour. It flipped right when I said it. 11 minutes to the top of the 6 o'clock hour. As we wind down hour number 2 on this Thursday edition of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint in the Lee Company studio. Happy to have you guys with us on WKOM 101.7 FM, WZYX 94.5 The Eagle. Don't forget, stick around after our show if you're in Winchester for the Sports Mix with Will Davis, 6 to 7 every Tuesday and Thursday. So he's going to give you plenty of sports talk, and you're definitely going to want to hear it.
Mixing up
all the sports. I wonder if he, as I say, like Atlanta.
Like the Braves used to do.
Yeah, they used to. Sad day. Time to talk a little broadcasting news as we get set for the first broadcast of the football season tonight.
Yeah. Came across this earlier today. Scrolling through Twitter as I am wont to do. Fox Sports announced their broadcasting pairings for the upcoming NFL season earlier this week. The top Sunday broadcast team will be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
I
mean, that was
a lot of suspense there, huh? Aaron Andrews will be the reporter for the pairing, while Tom Rinaldi joins the trio for all of Fox's America's Game of the Week broadcasts. Buck Aikman Andrews will call Thursday night games for Fox, and Christina Pink will be the second reporter for those games. Kevin Burkhardt will be paired with former Carolina Panthers tight end Greg Olson. I think that was announced back at the first of the year. Pam Oliver will be their regular sideline reporter.
He's been meh.
Burkhardt
or
no, Olson.
Oh, I was going to say Burkhardt. I think is great.
No, Olson he wasn't good.
Somebody clearly begs to differ.
Everybody's searching for Romo.
Everybody's
that's the problem.
searching for Romo.
They're searching. That was lightning in a bottle.
It really was.
You're not going to get that anytime
You know,
soon.
he, as much as I hated to admit it, he really has been good. But yeah,
very good.
But everybody's looking for that, and you know, I'm just not. I don't know that a tight end necessarily is that, but you know, we'll see. Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth and Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, another ex-Miami guy.
That sounds like a good team. I love Amin. I'm a big fan of Adam Amin. So.
Well, and Schlereth, I think, is really good. And then, again, Albert and Vilma will be another duo. Shannon Spake will be the reporter for Amin and Schlereth. Either Lindsay Zarnak or former News 2 sports anchor Sarah Walsh will be the reporter for Albert and Vilma. So, Chris Myers has a new partner, though it's a familiar face to both him and NFL on Fox viewers, Daryl Moose Johnston, who worked with Burkhardt last year following Charles Davis's departure to CBS. Jennifer Hale will be on the sidelines for Myers and Moose. Kevin Kugler's partner will be Mr. Butt Fumble himself, Mark Sanchez.
Wow.
Following Chris Spielman's exit from the booth last year and into the Detroit Lions front office. Laura Oakman will be the reporter with that pair. And then Gus Johnson is back.
Oh, right. Nice.
Calling in those crowded weeks for Fox with Aqib Talib. And Megan O'Leary will be the sideline reporter for those games.
Gus still doing college too, right?
I assume so.
The big noon game, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Pereira, Dean Blandino will work as rules analysts. Joe Davis will get some play-by-play work over the season. Pre-game, Fox NFL Sunday remains Kurt Menefee, Terry Bradshaw, Jimmy Johnson, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, and insider Jay Glazer. Fox NFL kickoff. Let's see. Tony Gonzalez left Fox last month and will be replaced by Charles Woodson. Clarissa Thompson will host that along with Colin Cowherd, Cooper Manning, Peter Schrager, Michael Vick, and Dave Wannstedt. So that's everybody that's working for Fox on football this year.
They did not give us the pairings for CBS, but we know
number one.
We all know number one. You're gonna get Nance and Sims.
Yeah.
After that,
who knows?
Who really knows? Tiki Barber, pretty good.
I think CBS has their football seminar coming up next week.
Charles Davis is great.
Yeah, he'll be on. Did he did some NFL last year, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I agree with you. I loved it when Davis was with Burkhardt. I thought that was a fantastic team.
He's fantastic.
Yep.
He's just a good dude too. So
is he still doing Titans pregame?
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's the only reason to watch.
Yeah, so we don't know CBS's pairings just yet, but probably similar to last season. On ESPN.
You said Nance and Sims. You meant Nance and Romo.
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sims is on NBC, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, the younger Sims.
Yeah.
Chris.
Phil is on the pregame, or at least he
That's
was.
what it is.
I assume he still is.
Chris is on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the
with
studio.
Florio.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
With Florio and...
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Anyway.
College football got a new analyst as Robert Griffin III.
RG3
has agreed to a new deal that will potentially spell the end of his football career, although he did have a part of his contract, a clause in his contract that allows him to go back to the NFL if they so choose to sign him to a contract.
I like Jay Cutler, I guess, without the clause.
I guess. But the former Heisman Trophy winner out of Baylor signed a multi-year deal to join ESPN as a college football and NFL analyst, according to Adam Schefter. He will call a weekly ESPN ABC college game and contribute to ESPN's coverage of college football playoffs, Super Bowl, and other major events. This is solid. I think RG3, again, quarterbacks typically make really good analysts. They understand the game.
I don't know if I've heard him
point.
much.
I don't know that I've heard him much either.
It's a big unknown. I mean, I'll be anxious to see how he is.
I hope he's good.
Yeah.
I feel like, he probably will have every positive of being a quarterback, but also, I feel, quarterbacks are typically smart. If you get to the NFL and you play at the NFL level, you have some sort of intelligence level that they really like. So I think that's pretty great, and he's going to be really good. I got a feeling. So I'm excited to hear it.
And I think also the persistence that he has shown in trying to maintain a professional career with everything that he's had to deal with, the knee injury and the
injuries.
and the Mike Shanahan and everything else. I think he's going to be good in this phase of his career.
I really hope so. Like you said, I hope he is. And looking forward to hearing him if he ends up on any games that we're able to watch. I assume that, ESPN Plus and that sort of thing or whatever.
Did they say who he would be with in the booth?
Did not. I don't even know that he would be in the booth. I assume he will be, but I don't know.
I think he's going to be better with the college game.
I agree.
Than he is with the pro game, and I don't know why I think that, but I do.
Well, he was better on the field in the college game than the pro game.
He was on the field more
Yeah.
in college than he was as a pro, and that's not anything. Again, not anything that he done other than, he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. That's going to do it.
No, we're not done.
You got something?
I got one more because scrolling through Facebook, there is a meme. Steve Spurrier on Texas joining the SEC. To go back to our clip, if you're going to struggle in the Big 12, might as well struggle in the SEC.
Amen. He ain't wrong, Bill. He ain't wrong.
Leave it to Spurrier.
Leave it to Spurrier. I'll leave everything to Spurrier. He's fantastic. All right, that's going to do it for this Thursday edition of the show. Don't forget, WZYX listeners, stick around. Will Davis, Sports Mix Live, coming right up after us. For those of you on WKOM, switch to WKRM. Braves pregame right now. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We bid you farewell. For Mo Patton, JP Plant, I'm Chris Yow saying have a fantastic evening and stay cool, Columbia.